Hi everyone, so in this video you will learn how you can select a HTML element using JavaScript. There are various ways to do so, but I will demonstrate a couple of ways which you can use. So let's get started. Let's have a basic HTML structure here. Link to our style sheet. Cut it and paste it here. Include a script file. Now we need one container and we'll create this container using section tag. Now we need 6 div elements and they all will have a button. So let me make it ID and I'll give it a ID of btn ID. So as I said, we need 6 div elements with a button. So we have to copy and paste. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I need one more. Great. As I said, there are a couple of ways to select an element. So the first method is selecting by ID. Second method is selecting by name attribute. So I'll make it name. Third method is by class name. So let's make it btn class. Fourth method is by tag name. So let's make it tag name. Same goes here. Next method is by selecting query selector. So let's make it query. Same goes here. The last and final method will be query all. Same goes here. Let's add a class here because we'll select this div by the class name. So it will be by class. We'll select this div by the ID. So let's make it by ID. We'll select this div element by the attribute name. So let's make it name and it will be username. You can give it any name you want, but I'll give it username. Save it, go to style sheet, select the section tag, display will be flex, justify content will be space between. Select all div elements, so it will be container div, height will be 300 pixels. Width will be 300 pixels. Text align will be center. Padding will be 5 pixels. Border will be 1 pixel solid black. Now just save it. Open this file in the browser. And this is the output. By looking over this layout, you already understood what is going to happen here. So when I will click on this ID button, I want to select this div element. When I will click on this name button, I want to select this div. In case of a class, this div element. In case of a query, you can make use of any CSS selector. So I'll use some CSS selector to select this div element. And when I will use query all, I want to select all these div elements. But when I will select with the tag name, it will basically select all these div elements because I will use div as a selector. I will show you how it will actually work. Don't worry about it. So let's start working on the script file. Select all the buttons. So let's make it btn ID. So I will go with query selector for all of them. Just copy and paste it 5 times. Make it class, make it name, make it tag name, make it query, and make it query all. Also we have to change here. So let's make it btn class, btn name, btn tag name, btn query and btn query all. It's time to add a event listener to these buttons. So let's use the first one, btn id. So event listener will be click, and to select an element we'll make use of a function getElementById. So it will be document dot getElementById. I'm still typing querySelector, I don't know why. So id in this case will be this by id, and we'll change the background color. Let's make it green. Save it, go to browser, click, and you can see the color is changed. We are selecting this div by the id because it has a id of by id. Let's select the next button, btn class, add a event listener. So let's make it elements, because there's a possibility you might have multiple elements with the same class name. So document dot getElementsByClassName. So in this case it is by class, and we will make use of for loop here. So it will be let element of elements, and we'll use the same code here to change the background color. Save it, go to browser. So this is the class button, click, and the color is changed. If I'll use this class here on the first div element, save it, go to browser, click, you can see the color is changed for both the div elements because they both have same class name. So next button is btn name, add event listener to this. For this we have a method document.getElementsByName. So let me copy this piece of code and paste it here, because you might have multiple elements with the same name. So getElementsByName, and the name is username. Save it, go to browser, click, and you can see the color is changed only for this div. If I'll just give this element same name like we did in the case of a class, go to browser, click, okay, sorry, I put in the section, it should be in the div. Save it, click. So you can see the color is changed for both the div elements because they have same name. Fourth is by tag name. So just copy this and make it tag name, and here we'll have getElementsByTagName. It will also return a collection, but here we'll pass a tag. In this case I will go with the div element so that it should select all the div elements. So let's click on this button and see, you can see all of them are selected and the color is changed. Next button is for the query, and it will only return a single element. So just copy this, paste it here, change it, make it query, and here we'll make it querySelector, and we'll pass a CSS selector here. I want to select the second last div, so I need to use this CSS selector, and last child in brackets 2. Now just save it, go to browser, click, and you can see the color is changed. If you want to select all these div elements, then you can also make use of this query all. Let me copy and paste this, and it will be query all, and we need to pass a CSS selector, and that will be div. We'll select by the div element, just make it query all here. This will basically return a node list, and you can loop through that list using this for loop. In case of a tag name, class, and this name, you will get a HTML collection. Now just save it, go to browser, click, and you can see all of them are selected and the color is changed. So these are 6 basic ways which you can use to select the element. First is by ID, second is by name, third is by class, fourth is by tag name, fifth is by query selector, but you have to pass a valid CSS selector to this method. Sixth is query all. It will work pretty much the same, but in this case you can select multiple elements. I hope you got the point how it actually works. See you in the next video. Have a nice day.